I mean, that was the perfect example of what 9-ball is like. You know, if you don't really get a chance at the table amongst the balls, I mean, you're out of it. Malaysia barely got a sniff.
Yeah, and you leave, you make a few mistakes, and your opponent is expected to cash in, and that's exactly what Russia did.
Well, the next game on the table, we've already mentioned it, Canada against Australia. At the top of the show, you mentioned that the Canadians, they're hot favourites in this tournament.
Well, I don't know if we can call them favorites, but they're two very talented players. You know, Alex Pagulayan, John Mora. John Mora had taken the time off from the game, so perhaps he's coming back feeling refreshed, and you can't go wrong playing against Alex, with Alex Pagulayan as your partner. He's been one of the best players in the world over the last 15 years.
Wow, 15 years.
Yes.
Wow, and they're up against the Australian side.
The Australians, yeah, they've come a very long way.
I was going to say, will that come into play?
Well, yes, and I know, they had a little bit of a hard time getting here, so maybe they're a little bit tired, but they're going to be up against a very formidable Canadian side.
Okay, well, we're going to hear from the players right now.
I'm playing pretty well. I mean, I knocked in 146 straight ball just before I left. He's knocked in 104 straight ball in Vegas. So we're playing all right, so I think we've got a chance. Well, I think against Alex is definitely one of the best money players in the world, and John's, definitely one of the best up-and-coming players. So we're going to have to break well, we're going to have to play well to stay in the match, so, just have to see what happens.
Ever since I was little, I used to watch Alex play a lot, so it's going to be pretty cool actually playing against him, but yeah, we know a bit about him.
And just take it as it goes, see what happens.
All we want to do is just play well out there. No matter what, win or lose, as long as we played well, happy days.
The Australians there, typical relaxed Australians, really. I mean, It's funny because I can see them right over there watching themselves, laughing at themselves.
Well, they're going to have to, be relaxed, but they got to come out here and get out of the starting gates quickly and get a few racks on the board against Canada. This is a very tough side, these Canadians, and Australia is a prohibitive underdog. But hey, race to 7. Winner breaks, you just never know.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. You never know what's going to happen in the World Cup of Pool 2017. Well, we're going to find out very soon. Welcome back to the East End of London for the 2017 World Cup of Pool. The famous Tower Bridge there, of course. So we're going to meet the teams in a few moments' time, but first, here's some facts and figures about each of them. Yeah, that's it. So we are all set and ready to go in the York Hall here in London. Team Canada there against Australia. All that's left for me to do is hand over to our commentary team of Nick Halling and Alex Laley.
Yes, thanks very much indeed. Nick, Alex, I was saying to Ted Lerner earlier today, we've got 6 seeded teams that we'll see in action this afternoon and this evening. I guarantee we won't get 6 seeded winners. So far, we've seen 2 seeds go through without too much difficulty, and a lot of people around here are suggesting this might be a comfortable afternoon as well for Team Canada. Do you go along with that?
100%, Nick.
First track,
100%.
race to 7, winner
John
breaks.
Mora
Alternate break
came out of retirement for this tournament. Some time ago, recently, a couple months ago, he decided to stop professional pool. He, for some reason, lost motivation. But the World Cup of Pool and Alex Pagulayan convinced him to compete. He beat Shane van Boning in the final of the Expo in Philadelphia in 2016. And was runner-up in the China Open a year before that. Very strong player.
Well, what's he got here? So far not looking too clever. Ball spread all over the table. Now is that one ball that's gone top left there shielded by the 8? I think it might well be, otherwise that could have been real trouble.
No shot on, so Australia, I expect, will play a push out, where they can roll out the cue ball to any position on the table. And then the incoming team, Canada, will have choice to play or to give back
I'll tell you what,
Push out
Alex,
call.
this is a big shot because that's an inviting looking table. You surrender possession of this table, you may lose the rack.
And they have called a push out. So the push out, that's for me where the biggest difference is made between elite and sub-elite players.
And you talk about elite and the next level. These Aussies are underdogs because they're top players nationally, yet to make the step up and make the grade internationally.
Yeah, I had a chat with Justin Campbell, the blonde player of the two. And, he competes quite a bit in Taiwan, China, or quite a bit. Right now he has participated in the China Open. So he knows what it's like to be up against the big guns.
Pagulian has played his shot, which brings up the Adelaide man. Well, in fact, they're both from Adelaide originally. Justin Campbell. This first ball is so important because if you can put this down and get yourself a shot at the two, the rest of the rack is not too daunting. There goes the one and the two.
He would have liked the two to sit ready for his partner Casciola. Now Casciola needs to play a longer three ball with a steep angle.
Well, he's got it.
Good shot.
Yeah. Yeah. Campbell was certainly happy enough with that.
Yeah, that was a good shot by Casciola. Those longer shots where you're floating the cue ball. Whenever you're tight, the back arm isn't as smooth as it can be. Those are the tough shots.
Well, this was always going to happen. Once we'd seen that dry break, whoever was going to get the first ball here was in great shape. Still not over, still a bit of work to be done, but the Aussies potting confidently at the moment. Both of them up out of their chairs, so that tells you that the next man up is expecting, and he's going to be straight back down to the table as well.
Angle now on the 7 forces Casciola to go to the rail with the cue ball. Well, let's say he made the ball, but just that position on the 8 for Justin Campbell's no good. Because not only does he need to make the 8, he also needs to travel to come back to the 9 ball. Nicely struck.
Got it off the rail as well. Not a gimme. So a little bit of pressure here early on the Aussies. Casciola has missed it. Has missed it. Well, it wasn't a gimme, but it does mean that John Morra here can step up like a thief in the night and steal this first rack. What were you talking about, Alex? You were talking about elite level and next level down. Is that the difference we just saw there?
Yeah, well, it's you know, it's Casciola's first time on the TV table. It was a big shot. I do think he overhit the shot. He played it quite hard. With the same accuracy but less speed, I think the 9 ball would have dropped.
It was a pressure shot as well. Wasn't a gimme. Work had to be done there, but he would have expected to get it. And instead, Morra can pick his pocket, and the first rank goes to Canada. That's how cruel this game can be. You can do all the hard work, one slip, and it counts for nothing.
Yeah, one slip. It started with position 2 to 7. There was a slight positional challenge. Then Casciola misplayed shape on the 8. Justin Campbell, though, still
rack
did
two.
good to get from
Canada's
the 8
a
to the
break.
9.
Leading 1 rack
Campbell's
to 0.
looking good.
Now here's the wonderfully charismatic Alex Pagulayan. What a player he can be. Well, this is interesting. Again, ball's hanging over pockets, but another dry break.
It's still early in the tournament. It's only the 3rd match, and I expect the table to start breaking better come tonight or the afternoon session of tomorrow. The table gets broken in. The balls will sit better when they get wrecked by Brendan Moore or Nigel Rees. Justin here has overcooked his draw shot from the 1 to the 2.
Casciola has done what he needed to do. The 3-4 is on. And once again, it's a table that the Aussies have control of here. They've got to keep control of it.
Campbell takes time. He needs to control the 3 ball.
Oh, well, well, well. What a shot that was.
But you see how easy it is to mess up things. I mean, things could have gone wrong big time.
Well, here's my question for you, and there's only one person who can definitively answer it. Did he mean that? Did he get lucky?
No, no way, no way. He tried to figure out a way to control the 3 ball. But his execution of the cut shot on the 3 was poor. He hit it too thin. He did not control the 3. And only the double kiss, the second contact with the cue ball, had the 3 ball sit ready for next shot had he not made the 9.
You'll take them anywhere you can get them. The Aussies back on level terms. And Campbell, the man who nailed that 9, just having a good look at the rack.
3. Australia to break. 1-1.
The players are not allowed to ask the referee for a re-rack, but studying the rack can show you some spaces here and there, because the rack is never going to be perfectly frozen. And this information can help you to decide where to break from.
Well, both teams then struggling with their breaks. That's 3 dry breaks in a row.
Canada can, and I expect will, attack the 1 ball. It's a cut shot. And contact with the 6 and 7. That's what they need to avoid. So they need to play it with a trace of right spin.
He's got a kiss there on the 7, and then there's another one. Anytime there's contact with other balls on the table, it's generally bad news.
Well, the good news here is that the 5 is in a position with the 9 where there's no available 5-9 combination, so the table is somewhat blocked. It's not an open position to win it in 1 inning.
Yeah, this is going to take some work, isn't it? Pagulayan says, well, thank you very much. I'll have that. Put his hand up before that ball had even finished. I think Alex just acknowledging there that, yes, whilst it looks an absolutely stunning shot, there was an element of good fortune about that as well. Just a little acknowledgement to the Aussies. That's not much consolation for Michael Casciola. He's got to dig himself out of this mess without leaving anything on the table, of course.
If he hits it soft, he's likely to leave a shot on the 2-ball.
What's he got there? Oh, he's got the touch.
Oh, beautiful shot. Hello. Beautiful shot. One rotation harder and the 2 would have opened the 3. Very nice.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Very nice.
Done.
I must say, Nick, Australia is way better than what I expected. I mean, they've come with a couple of good shots now. If they settle down a little bit more and avoid the missing another 9-ball, for example.
Well, that's it. It could so easily be 2-0, this match. Well, let's see who wins this particular duel. This is the first rack that's going to need some digging out, some safety play involved. That 2 and 3 welded together. Now they're broken up.
Very nice.
The 5 and the 9 are together down the bottom left as well. And he's looked there for the tall grass to hide in, Jason Campbell. Yeah, and I think he's found some.
Yeah, he played a good shot. It was obvious, but he played it very strongly, widening the angle of the cue ball, hiding behind the 6 instead of the 7.
Paguline's managed to kick that out, but
so an open shot for the Australians. They need, of course, to sink to 2 and 3, but it's all about problem solving. I think I would play to get on the 3, and depending on the exact angle on the 3, then I would choose to either play position for the 4-8 combination or seeking position behind the 4.
yeah, and that is where, as you can see, Campbell's focus is right now.
Yeah, from where he is, he cannot play other position than for the 4-8 combination.
Yeah, he wasn't looking at the 3 ball there. He was looking at what happened after the 3.
One thing, listen, a thing they could do, but I don't think they will. So to pocket the 3, if he would travel further to the left with the cue ball, he would have a perfect angle to go behind the 9-5.
Yeah, you're right.
There would have been a good shot, opening up the 9-5 and sticking it on the 9. A 1 pocket shot.
Well, there is the meld broken up and the big bonus there.
Cashola. It looked like he was trying to make the combination on the 9. Or he just missed the 4-8 combination by half a diamond.
He certainly wasn't going for the 5 in the top pocket, that's for sure. But that's what he got. So Campbell. Very fine shot needed here. Oh, not that fine.
Yeah, he tried to play real first, loading up the cue ball with side spin. But on his TV table, the cue ball reacts
Start the clock,
way
please.
more strongly than on the club table. It deflects. And Campbell, not being used to playing on the TV table, didn't adjust for that.
I guess there's just no way to get used to how a table will play without actually playing on it. And of course these players haven't been able to do that yet.
Well, I'll tell you a secret and go public here. The thing I now know and would have liked to know when I was a pro player still is to use silicones and spray the cue ball with silicones. Then it reacts like it does on a TV table. So you can.
You shouldn't have just given that out for free. You should have marketed that. That's a good little hint for anybody watching this. You know there are pool players around the world now who have just made a very, very big note about that.
Yeah, well, maybe if you spray it the first 10 minutes, it's
Dancing call.
really funky, but then for an hour or so, it reacts like here. Here in York Hall, in the arena. Clearly left eye dominant, John Mora. Right-handed, but He has the cue under his left eye. Just like Judd Trump in snooker.
Interesting your story you were telling us about John Mora, how he'd more or less packed the game in, and the word is that Alex Pagulayan virtually begged him to come and partner. And Alex is a tough guy to turn down, but he's not really had much time at the table, and I wonder if that's what prompted that.
Well, some months ago, the World Pool Masters was played in Gibraltar. Alex was up against the red-hot Jason Shaw, and at Hill, he had a straightforward 9-ball. Cue ball was glued to the rail, I must say, but he missed it. He dogged it. There was a big miss, and if you watch that clip on YouTube, it has gone all over social media around the world. Hundreds of thousands of views. And since that miss, he is struggling.
Again, a tough 9, and again they've let it go. Now, at least it's not hanging over the jaws of the pocket, but that's twice they've had tricky shots at the 9 and missed them both. If they want the upset here, those are the shots they've got to make.
The former Derby City Classic bank pool champion John Mora. Cross corner.
Put that one in the bank as well. Canada pick Australia's pockets again. It could be 3-0 to the Aussies. Instead, 2 misses on the 9. Have really cost them here in the early going. Fascinating match in progress here, though. It's 2-1 to Canada, but it could so easily be a very different story. Join us for more action in just a couple of moments. Australia, this one going according to the form book, as our previous 2 matches did. Germany and Russia winning comfortably. Spain, Scotland and England A, the seeded teams in our evening session tonight against Romania, New Zealand and India. So plenty to look forward to here on day 1, the first of 6 days of exciting action in the World Cup of Pool from the York Hall, Bethnal Green in East London. And here's John Mora, the man who fell out of love with the game, looking to fall back in love with it here. But here we are, rack number 4 of this first round match. We've yet to see a ball deposited off the break. 3 dry breaks in a row. Can Mora break that spell? Well, finally. Little cluster of balls dropping bottom left there. The 9 and the 4 have melded together. With the 2 and the 5 in the vicinity as well, so not an ideal table for the Canadians to work with, but at least they've got a ball down. That's a bit of a mess down there. Top left as we're looking.
Yeah, whenever the player chooses to play a cut break, not hitting the 1 ball fully, impact is less. So the balls will often be dispersed less. And that's good news for Australia. So now Pagulayan and Mora are studying the 4 and 9. And I think they have decided that the carom, the 2-4-9 carom, is on. So after the 1 they will need to hit the 2 ball.
Well,
and a direct contact thereafter on the 4
call.
ball will make the 9 head towards the pocket.
Well, Alex was about to take his shot there and then got the beeps, called for the extension, and now I think they may just be re-evaluating or just taking a second look. You're absolutely right, Alex. They are certainly sizing that up.
Yeah, and now Mora said, I mean, I didn't hear it, I didn't see it, but it looked like it. If you put the cue ball approximately in center table, you'll also be able to kick at the ball. That's a poor shot. That's a very poor shot.
That's an absolute shocker.
But that's the shot clock, Nick. 30-second shot clock. 1 extension per rack. It's not much.
Yeah, he really had to snatch at it, didn't he? So can Mora get them out of this mess they've got themselves into? No, he
Oh,
can't.
shot.
Ball in hand.
Just an intentional foul he played. He didn't like his chances of kicking at the 2
Start the
ball
clock,
and
please.
saving the cue ball, so he chose to break up the 4-9. So there isn't going to be a 4-9 combination left anymore. And even with ball in hand, it's difficult for Australia to get some profit out of the ball in hand.
Campbell looking for distance and separation. Pagulayan with a pressure shot here. Remember, the 2 has got to hit a rail for it to be a clean shot. There it is, hitting the rail, and it's come out. And I think he's got safety as well. Nice touch there from Pagulayan. Casciola up next.
I think he can bank the 2. Oh, that's nicely played.
Yeah,
Takes a lot of nerve to play at that pace. You have to be absolutely dead certain to hide behind the 5.
Just to amplify what you were saying earlier, Alex, though, those first 2 matches that we've seen were pretty much one-way traffic. This one has been close and competitive throughout, and it's staying that way here in this 4th rack. Now it's Mora's turn to try and get out of trouble, and
Oh, shot.
Second intentional,
Ball in hand.
as Pagulayan did before. Now Mora opts to not even try to hit the 2.
Start the clock, please.
he has created another mess.
Yeah, just limit Australia's opportunities with ball in hand.
Yeah, you've now got the red and the green melded together. Bottom of the table as we're looking.
And difficult to play a good secondary safety.
So playing dirty, the Canadians, but playing within the
Attention call.
rules.
Step 1, opening up the 4 ball. Did not try to force the issue. There wasn't a natural aggressive safety available.
And he has created, Campbell, a really good north-south divide with cue ball at the bottom of the table and right up against the other far rail object ball. Now Pagulayan has not really found his rhythm at all in this match.
The 2-7 combination is easy. They'd be favored to make it. But the cue ball and the 2 would separate ways. It would be very difficult to get some sort of position. Is it? Yeah. So they play a get out of the inning shot. A nothing shot. Containing safety, but executed poorly. At least try to nail that cue ball to the short rail.
And that was pressure of the shot clock once again. Because extension's gone for both teams.
You can try and break out the 3 ball.
Once again, maybe just forced into it a little bit earlier than he would like. Well, he's got the cue ball back down towards the rail, so the cueing action will be over the rail here for Campbell.
If Australia, Nick, manages to win this rack, to level the score at 2-2, you know, they can forget about the 2 missed 9 balls and start believing, no, keep the belief that they are in it to win it today.
Now that needs to do some work off the rail, and it's done a lot of work. Jason Campbell, beautiful bit of touch there. Finding safety. Everything depended on how much traction he could get off the rail. Perfect snooker. And once again,
Oh, shot.
the Canadians just saying, don't want anything to do with that, thank you very much. Well, what has he left there, Pagulayan? Has he just opened things up?
Start the clock, please.
Yeah.
I think he has, you know.
Oh, maybe, Nick, a carom off of the 5. On to the 9.
Oh, that was ambitious.
Yeah, but he played it as a shot to nothing.
Oh, didn't want that to drop, did he?
No, that's a bad roll. A bad roll.
That was ambitious, Alex. Over-ambitious. Easy to say that after the event, of course.
Well, no, I like the shot selection. You know, there were maybe even money chance to make the 9. Beautiful. Avoiding a ball in hand for Canada.
And finally, we're getting a little bit of daylight in that bottom left area as we're looking, but there is still that meld between the 3 ball and the 6 ball to be dealt with at some point.
Yeah, and John Morris asking Alex, listen, if I make the 2 in the side using the 9 ball, can you manufacture some sort of a safety off of the 3 thereafter?
Where's the 9 going? Just would have been outrageous if that one had gone in, but look where the cue ball's gone. Just look where he's dropped that cue ball, Alex.
Not easy though, because there's not enough room in between the 6 and the rail to push the 3 ball through. He played rail first, Alex. Very touchy shot. Casciola sees the 3. He needs 2 rotations for the cue ball. 1 on the way in, 1 on the way out. Good shot.
And all this activity has opened up that meld now. So the table's starting to open up and the stakes getting a little bit higher with every shot. And where's that going? Oh,
nice try by John Mora. It's not straightforward for Justin Campbell. He needs to play a half ball hit. Super soft. Maybe he's going to play double speed and go towards the 9 here.
Looking for another hidey hole. Now, has that just stuck its nose out past the 9? That's certainly the way Pagulayan's lining this one up. That would suggest he sees it.
He sees it all right. Maximum distance.
Oh, nothing wrong with that shot. Where does the cue ball land? That's the key. Does he give him a shot on the 4? The answer is yes, he does. Mora. Not the easiest.
No, but the 9 is not in the way. He can hit center ball on the cue ball. Go towards center table.
Oh, my goodness. Huh.
They're not oozing confidence, but they're cruising towards a 3-1 lead, where things could have been way, way different.
I tell you what, it's another rack that the Aussies are going to be looking at and saying, we could have had this. They were in the box seat in what's been a tough rack for a while here, and instead of playing well and looking comfortable, they're playing pretty well and staring at a 3-1 deficit here. It's a cruel game, this. A pair of missed 9s, yes, that certainly cost them. But Alex Pagulayan came up with the shot of this rack that opened it wide open. And the Canadians have managed to, somewhat fortuitously it would seem, put a bit of distance between themselves and the Aussies, but there was nothing fortuitous about that shot from Pagulayan. He knew exactly what he was doing with it.
No, this was a great strike. A great strike. And when your confidence isn't peaking, you need a couple of those shots. Executions like that to start building it back up.
Really special stuff. Finished off. Nicely done. Alex Pagulayan, World Pool Champion as long ago as 2004 now, which is frightening, Alex, because I was there. I think you were as a player as well, back all those years ago. And here he is, still going. What an emotional night that was when he won the title 13 years ago.
Yeah, he lost it the year before against Thorsten Homan. This was still in Cardiff, and then in Kaohsiung.
Rack 5.
You know,
Canada
so was strong.
break.
I mean, the year
Yeah,
after
3
losing the
racks to
final,
1.
he came back to win it, beating Pei Wei Cheng in the final. Possibly the best all-around player in the world today.
Oh,
shot.
scratch.
Ball in hand.
I say possibly because Dennis Orcolo is
Start the clock, please.
he's doing real good.
Let's have another look. Yeah, that's really bad. Because that's quite an inviting table otherwise. Ball in hand from here. Every chance for the Aussies to get themselves right back into this match, and this, Alex, is a chance they've got to take. They can't afford a slip up now.
Nice shot by Casciola. Perfect speed. So he's queuing, not yet affected by the scoreline.
Well, that's the way
Very nice. Now the
to keep things
difficulty.
moving. Yep.
Not a lot of margin positionally on the 3. So Casciola says, why don't we play in center table? Leave a cut shot on the 3 to have a bigger positional area to play for. Now you can see that Casciola often one-strokes the ball, so he'll get down and almost immediately after starts his last backswing. Sometimes rushes the shot like that. Resulted in the first miss on the 9 in this match. But now he's good. I like going forward to the short rail. Leave a natural angle on the 6 to float back down table.
And that's the only issue really. They've got to make sure, as you say, they float back down off this one, which they really should be able to do.
This is natural route, high ball, little bit of left spin. Go long rail, and off of the rail towards the next ball. This is what you like to do if you have choice. To come in towards your next shot.
Now, can they get rid of this troublesome 9? All coming off the scratch. And the Pagulayan break. Well, the Aussies still chasing the Canadians, but sticking around, staying in the slipstream, and that is the opening that presented itself, and this time the Aussies said, yes, that's a gift we're going to accept, thank you very much.
3-2. The lead for Canada, but this was a good run out with ball in hand for Campbell and Casciola. It's all about rhythm. Controlling the cue ball, shot after shot, builds rhythm. Rhythm builds confidence. Confidence builds belief, even if you're up against Pagulayan and John Mora. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if the gentleman in the back is Casciola's father. I'm about 98% sure, actually. Look at this.
Thank you, rack 6. Australia to break, trailing 2 racks to 3.
So where is Casciola breaking from? More towards the long rail.
Well, is that the family connection? 98%, says Alex Laley. We've got ourselves a break. I'm with the 2% for whatever that's worth.
So a mishit of Casciola, slightly, because he's breaking from the right side, his right side, and hit the one ball a little too much on the left. Still managed to control the cue ball and, more importantly, make a ball, so they continue. Key shot in this rack is the 3 ball. Underhit it. Came up from the shot. Failed to do the most important thing in cue sports, and that is to stay down.
Hey, Alex, let's just go back to what you were talking about. I saw one of our guys just go up to that guy and say something, and we got a shake of the head. I don't think that's Casciola's father. I don't. He looks more like an Eric Clapton look-alike to me. And I think the shake of the head confirmed it. He's probably not very happy with you that you've drawn attention to him. Casciola's probably not very happy that he's given up the table.
Well, he played a great safety.
You got it?
That's nothing like him. I tell you, this guy came to an Eric Clapton look-alike competition. He's just ended up in the wrong place. I get the table back. Where's this red gonna go? Ooh, I think that's just about taken out any possibility of a combination.
Well, if there's not really a good alternative. There's no easy safety here, so why not go for it?
Well, that's what Campbell may decide he's got to do. And he does, and he made it look easy as well. What a shot! Momentum with the Aussies. They've not had the best of luck in this match, but they are dead level, 3-3, and what a terrific shot that was. We need to look at this one again. Beautiful, as you said, he might as well go for it. There was nothing else on. He measured it up, looked at it, got his angle perfectly as well. So we really have something cooking here. 3-3, Canada and Australia. Not looking so good now for these guys. Highlight of this match so far, that wonderful combination shot from Jason Campbell. Lined it up perfectly, delivered it beautifully, and the Aussies have overcome 1 or 2 problems to be level here at 3 apiece with the number 8 seeds in this race to 7. It was comfortable sailing for Germany and Russia earlier. Spain against Romania, Scotland, New Zealand, England A versus India in our evening session. A lot of interest in that England-India match as well. What a way to finish day 1. 6 days of high-class pool to look forward to.
Yeah, Mark Gray and Darren Appleton representing England in Team A. Team B will be Imran Majid together with Daryl Peach. Peach and Gray last edition made it to the final. Darren Appleton together with Carl Boyes. They won it 4 years ago. That nightmare final. For me then it is, Nick, because they beat Holland, Nick Vandenberg and Niels Veijen. In a hill thriller.
Push out called.
Yeah, this didn't land well at all for Casciola. He's really got no option but to go for the push out. Now Canada can look at this and say yes, we'll have that, and I suspect they probably will, but they would have an option of saying no, don't want it, you can have it back.
Well, actually,
oh, he's given it straight back. Yeah,
because there's no shot on, there's no good safety.
I always thought if you can see the ball, you'll take it. You'll trust yourself.
Well, you know, if you see something you like, something to go for, but there's no hiding. If he clips the 1 ball, there's no hiding but behind the 5, and that's a very small area. Or behind the 8. Nicely done. They managed to fool Alex Pagulayan, and not many people do that.
Alex spent no more than a second looking at that table before giving it back.
Well, that tells us something about his... Well, okay, I won't speculate, but he just didn't like that thin clip and controlling the speed on the 1.
Well, he may not like that. He probably doesn't like this, but he's got to deal with it now.
The 4 looks to be blocking the 1 ball to the corner pocket. And the cut to the side pocket I don't like, and Justin Campbell won't like it because he will not be able to get the cue ball to the long rail.
Yeah.
Extension call.
This is awkward, isn't it? This is, there's no easy shot here for Campbell. Cashola's getting involved as well, as they're considering options at the moment. Still doesn't have to rush it, got 20 seconds left.
He's banking the 1 ball back. Back down table.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's a poor shot. A poor shot. And that's what the shot clock does to you. You try to remain calm, but then with those last seconds ticking away, he executed.
He had 10 seconds left, Alex. He didn't need to rush
Yeah,
that.
but it just messes with your perception of time. I mean, he's a good cueist, but if you see how he executed this shot, his body position was all over the place.
Well, it's another error.
Extension called.
And now the Canadians use their extension as well, just to take their time. They've got possession of the table again at 3-3, and what is now effectively a race to 4.
John Mora is of Canadian Aboriginal descent, of the Ojibwe Nation. 29 years of age.
And just like that, the table is blown wide open. Mora directing the traffic, telling Pagulayan what he wants from him.
Angle, that's the most important. Good players want angles on approximately 90% of all shots. Go twice across, again with an angle on the 6. Straight is good too.
It's another rack that you've got to look at, Alex, and say it's not one that the Canadians have come out and won. It's one that the Aussies have gifted to them for the 3rd time in this match.
Yeah, that's going to hurt. Unforced error by Justin Campbell, just when Canada looked to be building somewhat of momentum in this match.
Yeah, how ironic it would be Campbell, who just moments earlier had hit that wonderful combination as well to win the rack. He's the one with the scratch, and as a result of that scratch, the Canadians are back in front. Not impressing, Not looking particularly good, not getting much rhythm, but holding their nerve, minimising the big mistakes, more importantly. And 4-3 to the good in this race to 7. Well, it's been tough going for these two so far. Canada's record over the years has not been great, barring a semi-final appearance in 2007. Other than that, rather surprisingly, you'd have to say, never passed the second round, other than that one time. Whether they'll be able to go past the second round this year remains to be seen. Within their section of the draw, the seeded teams, Chinese Taipei, the #1 seeds, the defending champions, Poland and Japan. So there'll be every chance, you would think, that they could reach the last 8 here, the Canadians, but it's by no means assured that they're going to get past the Aussies yet. 4-3. The underdogs right in this.
So I've been digging deep into my grey matter, Nick, and I'm sure
rack
that
8.
the one time that Canada got to the
leading 4
semi-final,
racks to 3.
there was an accomplishment from Edwin Montel and Alain Martel, a.k.a. the Dancing Bear.
I remember him. Right, here's Mora. Oh, well, no, he's got one.
Well, they're making balls on the break now, but yeah, it doesn't look good. In 9-ball, you always look to make the corner ball and or the 1 ball in the side. This was a wild ball, they call it, unforeseen.
And it results
Push out call.
in this table. A table where there's no obvious point of attack, so Pagulayan will push it right into the middle of the table. And the option now for the Aussies is take it on or toss it back.
The last push-out battle was won by the Aussies.
Yeah. Reset the clock, please. Start the clock.
And Campbell, I think it was, who decided, you know what, I don't really want that.
Full contact on the 2. Can make the cue ball stop in its tracks. Had to do something and he hasn't succeeded. Okay, he has given distance, but this is a free shot on the 2 to the top left-hand pocket.
Oh,
wow. He didn't play it negatively as a two-way shot coming in towards a 9. No, he dug in, stroked it in.
well, it's typical of the way the Aussies have been playing this match. Lots of highs and lows. The lows we've talked about, but the highs have been pretty good as well. They've hit the shots that stick in the memory in this match so far. The boys from Adelaide. That helps.
Cue ball being so close to the rail, he could not load it up with more spin to create the angle to get closer towards the 4.
Now, has Cashion got another sizzler in his locker?
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Very nicely played.
So now they have a 4-4 in their hands. Can they hold their nerve?
Oh, that's it. They've been here before. It's putting a complete rack together for the Aussies. That's the key. That's another real little gem.
A nice strike on the 4, but mostly, Nick, I'm impressed by their decision making in the push-out situations, because this is the second time that they win the push-out battle.
Yeah.
They win the initiative.
Yeah, usually when it's tactical, when it's safety play, push-outs, that sort of stuff, it's the experienced players you think are going to come out on top. But as you say, it's these Aussies that are looking very assured at the moment. Got to just complete the job. Surely this is a routine one. I'll go for the rest here, Campbell, but he could do this one with his eyes closed. Right back in it again. And that really was a good rack. Well, again, as we look back at that one and say, Paguilar with the push-out, that was a bit wishy-washy to say the very least. Open it up for the Aussies. That's why we're back on level terms. Now it's a sprint to 3, effectively. A couple of beautiful shots in that rack as well. From the younger of the two Aussies, Michael Cascione. That one an absolute gem. This one not far behind it. Because that was not easy.
No, and that 4-ball never touched the rail. Beautifully hit. And now the pressure, it will shift more and more towards Team Canada. They being the favorites, they have the negative pressure. Australia, they can only win. It's a good thing to be in an underdog position.
Thank you, rack 9. Australia to break, 4-4.
Well, let's see if the Aussies can get themselves in front for the first time in this match. Here's rack 9. Cascione coming up with not an awful lot.
No ball down, but no open shot on the 1. Little too much angle on the 1. I expect to attack it, to attack the bank shot to the side pocket. Bank in the side, wear a mask. Sort of a wild shot because the bank into the side pocket. Difficult to get shape on a 2. And it's only worth in 9-ball to take a risk if it gives you something. If making the 1 would give them a winning position, then could be the choice of shot. He's playing safe.
No, he isn't, Alex. Oh, was he though? Was that just one of those two-way shots? Yes, he was playing safe, but he'd have taken it if he'd got it.
Yeah, but if you play it like that, you want to play to miss it on the short side, so on the long rail. So it'll come back out. He played it just about good enough.
This is tempting, though. It's tempting.
Extension called.
Yeah, and I think he's made the right call there as well.
Could be a wreck winner.
Exactly. This is a huge shot. Oh. Oh dear, oh dear. Once again, the Aussies going for their shots. But it's the big mistake we're going to be talking about again.
Start the clock, please.
This is an inviting looking table with ball in hand.
I suspect he wasn't 100% committed to playing the shot. The speed he played it with. I think he also tried to get the cue ball down table. So it was in between making it or saving it. The position on the 2, he's somewhat on the wrong side. He's an angle to go towards the 8. But he doesn't need to force position.
Just heard him say to Paguilar, I'm going to shoot the bank. And then Alex came over and said something to him. is he going to get away with it? I don't know.
Could have been worse.
Well, he said this was the shot he was going to go for. He'd made his mind up. And another miss. Is he going to get away with it as well, Cashion? I think he is.
A good roll. But this is what happens.
No.
If balls are missed, funny things start to happen.
We haven't seen too many jump shots in this first session. We're certainly not going to see one here.
Now, interesting, this choice of shot of Pagulayan.
Oh, what a shot as well.
Well,
my goodness.
He's snookering himself. He's hidden, it seems, behind the 5-6.
Yeah.
But he played it like this off of the left side, because off of the right side the chances of a scratch were too big.
Well, the pot was beautiful. It really was. What a shot that was. And then just look where that cue ball has ended up.
Extension call.
He needs to make contact with the 3, of course, but he has a big chance of resaving here, because both cue ball and 3 ball will go into the woods where those other 6 balls are. Big chance of a resave.
Well, let's see if they find the woods. He didn't want that kiss.
No woods and no rail.
No.
Ball in hand.
After contact, the cue ball needs to hit a rail. He failed to do so, so that's ball in hand. Difficulty with this layout is the position of the 5. From the 4 to the 5, the easiest would be to play for the 5-6 combination.
Yep.
So then the challenge is going to be control of the 5 ball.
Yeah, and Cashion's already lined it up. This is not about the pot, it's about placement.
I like this, because he's on the proper side of the 5. Overrun. He has overrun the mark somewhat, but at least he doesn't have to work the 5 ball to have a shot after.
Needs to just put the brakes on. Yeah, that'll do. Put themselves in a great position again, the Aussies.
He's done too much. Would have been better to stay below the 8.
As Campbell retrieved the situation. Oh. Well, you can see from the response of Cashion and from some in the crowd, that really was a beauty. And it's all down to Campbell now. They've really dug deep here, the Aussies, and for the first time in this absorbing match, the guys in the green and gold have got themselves in the lead.
Nice.
5-4. These two looking at the possibility of being kicked out of the competition at the first hurdle. It's looking very good for the Aussies at 5-4, but it's still all to play for. Really good match we're enjoying here. The opening session of this first day of 6 of the World Cup of Pool. Australia and Canada locked in a gripping struggle. Mistakes on both sides. But the best shots have come from Australia, because even when the Canadians have hit the heights as Pagulayan did there, he ended up losing control of the cue. The Aussies taking control of the rack and taking that rack for a lead. Here's the numbers from the first 9 racks, Alex.
Yeah, missed pots 4 by Canada, 5 fouls, 3 for Australia. That shows enough You know, they're making mistakes, Team Canada, on all fronts in the safety department, and just plain old pocketing balls.
Here's some of the potential
Thank you, rack
winners.
10.
Skylar Woodward, Shane Van
Australia's a
Boning,
break.
and the
Beating
United
5
States.
racks to 4.
Van Boning knows what it means and what it takes to win this competition. And just a few other players floating around as well, just having an eye on things, checking out the opposition. Canada, as I say, the expected team to go through.
There's Yi. He plays for Chinese Taipei, the holders, trying to be the first team to defend their title in the history of the World Cup of Pool.
Well, well, well.
Listen, Nick, Lady Luck knows who's playing the better pool. And the better pool player usually gets rewarded in a match. What I'm trying to say is that Australia is getting the rolls. No ball on the break, but they managed to not leave a shot. That's going to be a difficult push out for Pegulayan.
Yeah, and Pegulayan, I'm sure in the back of his mind, is thinking the last time I had a push out, I just tossed it back and it proved to be the wrong decision. So he's taking his time more on this one before committing. I think he's going to go for it.
Well, the one is so close to the corner pocket, which makes it difficult. So if he rolls up to the short rail, they're going to leave a bank. Oh, he's playing a stop shot on the 6, I think.
That took a kiss right into that little meld. The 7-9 joined now by the cue ball.
He tried to hit the 6
Start the
full in
clock,
the
please.
face.
Start the clock.
Stopping he would have stopped the cue ball somewhere in between the brown 7 and the black 8. He mishit it, and now he's in a bad spot. Hampered by the 9.
Yeah, it didn't take long for the Aussies to take a look at that mess and say, no, don't want it. Hardly surprising.
Cross corner bank on the 1.
Now, is he going to get it at the second bite? Yes, he does, but where's that cue ball going? Yep, there's the ball, and that cue ball just needs to stay the right side, and does.
Mora looks to see how big the passage for the 2 ball is past the 4 to the corner pocket. It's very tight.
Yeah, it took a nudge too tight as it turned out, and look how it's bounced off the rail as well. There was absolutely zero margin for error there. This is no time of the match to be making any kind of a mistake when you're 4-5 down in a race to 7. Everything's got to be spot on.
Yeah, Canada starting to look weaker. Australia starting to look stronger.
I've got to say, the perception for me in this match is, Alex, that these guys have never got going. They've not gone through the gears at all, whereas the Aussies, they've made their mistakes, yes, we know that. They've always come back and regrouped. They've looked the more solid of the two.
Yeah, I think Team Canada, even though they're so seasoned professionals, that they've slightly underestimated Team Australia, perhaps, even if they haven't chosen to do so, subconsciously.
Yeah.
They haven't looked up to it, up for the task during the whole match.
Looking ahead, Alex, look at that to the left there, the 7-9. How big a concern is that? Will that 7 pass top left? Or are they going to have to try and break that up? That's the issue here, isn't it?
Well, the 7 passes.
Yeah.
There's enough room to the pocket, but Campbell has underhit his draw shot. Not enough juice for the cue ball. So it's either cutting the 6, going back and forth with check side, which is super difficult on this TV table,
Extension called.
or playing to hit the 9 off of the rail. He's going back and forth.
Hello. Well, not for the first time in this match. The Aussies blowing up their own campaign. This was never going to go.
No, it's not the type of shot Cacholo will be good at. With the way that he hits the ball, he has that quick, big backswing before his last push through.
Extension called.
So a lifeline in this 10th rack handed to the Canadians.
Oh.
Great shot by Alex. Cinched the ball. I would have liked that cue ball to stop a diamond earlier or a diamond later.
That needed a lot of touch, and that's exactly what he's come up with. Well, they've really kicked it up a gear here, the Canadians, these last 2 shots, ever since they were let in. And just a 9-ball away from being back on level terms again. Well, this is neck and neck. Who's going to win this by a nose? That's the question. Australia and Canada, nothing separating them after 10 racks. Again, it's another rack that the Aussies will look back and say, we let them in, we gave them a chance.
Yeah, Campbell's mistake was the position to the 6 ball, leading into the miss by Casciola. This was a nice shot, but the 7 by John Mora with that cue ball close to the long rail. A great shot, played with a lot of heart, with a lot of commitment, with a lot of finesse.
Well, in a sprint finish like this, who's your money on now? 2 racks needed.
Well, you know, on paper it's still Canada with all the experience that they have. But that's on paper.
Yeah. Well, the Aussies have dug up some good shots, but at the same time they made big mistakes as well.
5-5.
I think it's going to depend on a roll.
Well, he's got himself on here, Pagulian. They've got a clean look at the 1. Now, this match has been a weird one for breaks, but that's about as inviting a table as we've seen. Daylight between all the balls. We've had all sorts of weird ball placements and melds throughout this match. Yep, there's a 5-6 that are a little bit close to each other, but everything passes. But this first shot, not a gimme.
Needs to smooth stroke it to hold the cue ball. That's a good shot. Now slightly hampered by the 5 ball. Alex Pagulian needs to dig down when playing the 3. He's slow rolling the cue ball. Stayed far enough off of the rail with the cue ball, so to give John Mora some options. He can dig down, although I don't think he can dig down deep enough to come back between this 8 and 9 towards the 5, if that 5 ball passes the 6.
Extension called.
So that tells us the 5 passes the 6. Digging down to go in between the 8 and 9 towards the 5.
Oh,
Good hit.
it's kept it alive, hasn't it? Normally you'd say contact with another ball, not good. Well, that has not done any harm at all. And as you so rightly say, that passes.
Should get it. Yeah, this is going to be a great out by Canada. John Mora being the pillar in the end phase of this match. Mora made the great 7 ball in the previous rack, and this rack the 1 ball, the opening shot. And that shot on the 4 proving crucial.
Angle to get a nice position onto the 9 here. And Canada haven't exactly marched effortlessly to the hill, but they've just about staggered there. Nine down from Alex Pagulayan. 6-5 Canada. 2 racks in a row. Nowhere to hide now for these 2 Aussies. We've had such a mixed bag of a match. Do we yet have another twist in what's been a fascinating one? Our first 2 matches of the day were pretty straightforward routines. Wins for Germany and Russia. This has been anything but routine. Tonight it's Spain versus Romania, Scotland against New Zealand, and England A versus India. And what promises to be a very spicy occasion, possibly a loud occasion as well. In fact, almost certainly going to be a loud one.
Rajan Dal and Amar Kang. They'll bring in their brigade, hopefully, of Dole drums, turning this arena upside down.
Yeah, if you're planning to visit the York Hall tonight, bring your eardrums. Yeah, sorry, your earplugs. You might need them because of all those drums. Mora checking how the balls have been racked. Remember, you can't ask for a re-rack.
Rack 12, Canada to break, leading 6 racks to 5.
Well, the Canadian breaking has got better the longer the match has gone on. And I think John Mora will be thinking, give me 1 more of those. Give me a wing ball dropping. Give me a shot at the 1 and I'll be happy. Well, the 2 wing balls didn't drop, but he has got 1 down. And has he got a shot at the 1, or is that obscured?
Yeah, they have 1.
Yeah, they got it, haven't they?
They're making balls, not the ones that they're eyeing for. Not the wing ball, not the 1 ball. But what they do have is control of the cue ball and the 1. So it has been a stormy affair, this match, but now the last 10 minutes they're starting to look like the Team Canada that they were expected to look like.
I'll tell you what, Alex, you take a look at Jason Campbell in particular in his chair. He is slumped in his chair. The body language coming from Australia, look at that. That's an air of resignation right now. This is out of their control.
Good shot of John Mora's technique. Delivers the cue very straight. Both his parents, his father and his mother, national champions in Canada. Top cueists. Mario Mora used to be quite an established snooker player.
and Malta in particular, went away probably thinking, well, we didn't lose, we were just second best on the day. You know, we couldn't do anything about it. These two Aussies, this one's going to stick in the throat because this was there for the taking.
Yeah, they had it. They lost 3-1, then led 5-4 and had a 6-4 lead in their hands.
On the other side of that, whoever prevails out of Japan and Thailand, and the seeded team is Japan, they will be meeting Canada in the second round, and they'll have looked at this and thought, these guys are not in top gear. We'd have a decent chance against them. Particularly Japan, you would think.
But bear in mind, Nick, being a player, I always liked surviving a first round scare. Because then at least you've had the adrenaline, you've had the pressure, and you've survived.
And it's woken you up.
Yeah, it's better than winning 7-0. In a way.
A big smile on the face of John Morra, who gets the honour of finishing this match. And he's done exactly that. Not exactly plain sailing for the Canadians. The Aussies gave them a run for their money. And it was anyone's match at 5 apiece. But just one mistake too many for these guys. Let the Canadians in. And when they had their opportunity, they made sure they locked the door, sealed it tight. We'll have some more reaction from the winners after the break. And we're just about through our coverage of the first afternoon session of day 1 of 6 days of wonderful pool that we've got to look forward to here at the York Hall in Bethnal Green. We're back in just a moment.